kind of digging these Bob Barker Price's Right microphones the whole weekend. Just hold them down here. So you just introduce your dogs and cats? I can't, I didn't like that part of the presentation. No, I appreciate that. There you go. Not candy. White nut fair. No, I'll do curious about that. But anyway, hi guys. How y'all doing? Good. Well, it's, for a Sunday, I think we all have a lot more energy than we usually would have. So, well done, and glad you guys can make it up. This is the General Geek Live panel. This revolves around, essentially, anything geek-related. It can be industry, it can be gaming-related, it can be random, obscure questions, whatever you like. It's generally just an open discussion, conversation, and basically a way to finish off the con with just some back and forth. Fun times, good times. So let me go ahead and begin with a little bit of an introduction. For those who don't know me, my name is Matthew Mercer. I'm an actor and voice actor from Los Angeles, California. And this is my first time at this con, and it's been awesome. So thank you for having me, guys. I really appreciate that. Zenkaikon and all the attendees, present company included, have been awesome. So I really appreciate it. It's been a fun weekend. I hope you all had a good time. I hope you're as exhausted as I am, because that means you did it right. Just saying. Also, all the monsters and drinks have to get in, so I think it's about time to start this panel. So yeah, for me, I'm a professional voice actor, but largely in kind of a larger direction. I am a huge nerd. I grew up an indoor kid, sports ball school. I don't judge people who are into that, not my thing. I stayed indoors and played Mario 3. And that's kind of been my trend for most of my life. So me and Sunlight. Yeah, so I play video games of all sorts, genre preferences, involving role-playing games and fighting games. But I've liked all spectrums. Also play a lot of tabletop games. Dice rolling, pen and paper, Dungeons and Dragons, Paranoia, all that fun craziness, Call of Duty, you know the deal. So yeah, huge nerd. So that's kind of what this is about. This is about kind of the essence of geek culture, what we are as part of it, how we've enjoyed its transition, its explosion in popularity in recent years, which I know a lot of us who grew up, those kind of shunned geek kids, the ones that got poked fun of because we were the outsiders, all of a sudden there's a little bit of, you can't help but feel a little frustrated that now it's cool to be a geek, but at the same time, I don't think that's the case. I think it's more of an acceptance point. Everyone, to a certain extent, is a geek in their own right, whether it be sports, whether it be miniature painting, whether it be collecting My Little Ponies, whatever it is. People have a certain geek preference of theirs that is their own. And what it is not that all of a sudden now everyone wants to be a geek, it's that now people are beginning to realize it's okay to admit that you are, and realize that we as a culture, as nerds and as geeks, are the most accepting there really is. We're all the outliers, we're all the freaks, we're all the fun kids that aren't afraid to throw our flags of being a little different. And it's great, exactly, and have fun. And so I'm really liking that there's this new resurgence of people being comfortable coming out and being like, no, I have a secret collection of tiny World War II Army men that I've been painting for 30 years that I don't tell anyone about. I'm like, that's awesome, man! That's a good painting job. Your dry brushing skills are fantastic. Just kind of embrace that aspect. I think it's really cool. So yeah, we'll go ahead and open this up with a little bit of Q&A, and we'll take the conversation from there. So if anyone has any currently burning questions, feel free to raise your hand. Sir, jump on that right now. What you got, buddy? There's some dialogue from my Leon Kennedy voice. All right, I'm doing Leon Kennedy as he's shopping. Get groceries. Should have known better than to come here at 7 in the afternoon. Everyone's getting off work and it's way too crowded at the checkout stand. All right, let's look at this here. See, Ada has me getting 2 ounces of lettuce, some eggs. Oh, jeez. Frozen chicken? Oh, this is going to be Neapolitan. Neapolitan ice cream. Really? Really? Is that what we're doing for this? Alright. 15 hours or less. I'm pretty sure you have at least 30 in your basket there now. Well, don't get testy with me. I'm trying to fun. Obviously, so are you. So. Should have got a glass of water. Boring the old days shopping bag. Who's that? Yes. Kanji Tatsumi, yes. Yeah. So my favorite aspect of Kanji Tatsumi, I think he represents an internal conflict that isn't represented enough in modern media, especially in video games. And it's the idea of a person that not only feels shunned because their visual appearance belies their internal personality. People look at him and think he's this thuggish character, he's really an underclassman and he's kind of shy and likes knitting and cute things. But because he's always been assumed to be that thuggish character, he naturally puts on that persona as a defense mechanism. I think that's a really cool idea. And then on top of that, he also has this emerging struggle with trying to discover what his own sexuality is and the question and these feelings he feels in certain directions that he can't really compute and feels is socially still strange. And I think it's a really, really cool journey for him to kind of still come to terms with that. And it plays a lot of comedy aspects of it too, but also it's a really cool character arc. And so I love that he represents a lot of those journeys that not a lot of characters get a chance to represent. I've had a lot of fans of the show come up and be like, Kanji's a great character because I myself am going through that same experience. It was great to have that person connect with them. That's awesome. That's, I think, the real essence of good storytelling is when you can find people that can not just connect with it, but help them through a difficult situation because they have another personality that they can kind of hold on to and be like, well, if this person can go through it and still be strong, so can I. I think it's a wonderful aspect of what that character and that story really represents. That is also fun to yell at things and get really frustrated. They're like, you say, Michael, get in my face! I like you things, so what? She's a good cathartic yelling every now and then to her. I get a question. They'll get to you. Mm-hmm. So taking over for a pre-existing character is always a little daunting because you have a character that's already enjoyed and appreciated by people, and you're always not wanting to be the one that messes it up because the internet's waiting. They're crouched in the bushes, going like, all right, the minute he steps on the terrace road out, So knowing that that's a possibility coming, I did a lot of research. I already loved the character beforehand. I played all the Resident Evils leading up to that. I loved Paul Mercer's performance beforehand. And so with Choice Kanji, it was studying and taking the same kind of sound, personality, texture, and essence of what they've already established with the character, and continue that so it's not a weird transition, and then take little aspects of it and make them my own as well. Because as an actor, you don't want to parrot something, you kind of want to make an aspect of it your own as well. So without changing too much of the essence, still kind of carry that arc in its new direction, and allowing that to kind of grow and breathe in your own realm as well. So it's all done with a lot of love and a lot of respect, and trying the best I can to still make it comfortable for everybody and make it something that I can still claim as my own producing as well. So daunting but fun. Favorite movie of all time? Oh, that's a big question. What's the meaning of life? I don't know. I would probably, I could play over and over again Chrono Trigger. You got New Game Plus, you got all different endings depending on when you go and beat Lagos, like there's just so much to it, and even when you do all the endings, it's still just a great game. So I'd be cool with that. If they ever redid or re-released Chrono Trigger updated, I would want to play Magus. I really want to play Magus. I will kill people that try and audition for Magus so I can play Magus. So that's not true. No one's filming, right? Yeah, Smash Cut for this tape from this panel being presented as evidence 5 years from now. I have no idea what happened. That's so strange. In the desert. Yes. Near Fresno? That's weird. You had a question. Alright, so for those who don't know, back in 2009, I directed and performed in a web series called There Will Be Brawl. It was a live-action film noir kind of HBO Prime drama version of the Smash Bros. Nintendo universe. So it followed Luigi in a trench coat through a dystopian mushroom kingdom that was currently corrupt and run down. And the princess was trying to keep it together, and then she disappears because she's a princess. Well, a series of murders are occurring that are reminiscent of the Cannibal Kirby murders that occurred 5 years before, like a copycat murder story, and so it kind of goes from there. So it's very dark, it's very dull, there's some violent moments, there's some adult moments. But that series came to fruition when Brawl was announced, and me and my friend Zach, who was the co-writer of the project, were playing Melee. And which still led to one of my favorite terrible lines in the series. It was like, Luigi turns at the camera and goes, "It will not be a Melee, it will be a Brawl." That was terrible. It takes itself really seriously, that's kind of the humor of it. It takes itself so seriously. We're playing Kirby, and we're watching the new clips of Sonic being announced for Brawl, and Kirby doesn't wear, he wears hats usually, or helmets. When he eats Sonic, he's wearing his scalp. Like he's just like, we found that really creepy. And so we're thinking like, Kirby just eats people and wears their skin. And so I kind of got this whole Hannibal Lecter, kind of Buffalo Bill talk. And then we started building on this dark Mushroom Kingdom. Like, well, what would be this reality? Oh, well, you know, Captain Falcon would probably be like the club owner of like a really hopping gay club downtown, and you know, it would be his lap candy, and just kind of built the world from there. I decided we should probably film this. And so we had no budget, and you can tell in the first episode we had no budget, but we just filmed it and put it up, and it managed to get a decent following. So we're really proud of that. I played Ganondorf, the Mafia down Ganondorf, who I kind of based on Bill the Butcher, who names from New York. So it was very like, you ever heard of I Will Not Find? No? It was a beautiful place once. You know, very kind of dark, intense Mafia done. So if you haven't checked it out, you should. It's like 3.5 hours long. It's turned into a web epic we didn't mean to. Let's see, let's go in the back. You start with the glasses. Interpretation of maggots? Yeah. You would probably be down deep like this. You entered my castle, haven't you? Well, I fear this dark castle will have a different means of taking you out. Very dark, smooth, low. I don't know, just be kind of fun to do. I think the castle interest, the music playing. For those who are Chrono Trigger fans, a really, really great 3-part album you can find online called Chrono Trigger Symphony, Volume 1 through 3. Amazing remixes of the entire original soundtrack. I listen to it constantly. So look that up. It's good. It's good. Let's go, where do we go now? So when I was first called into the performance tonight for this, I didn't know what it was. They said it was a Nintendo project. All right, cool. All right. Walk into the room, and the producers I never met before were like, "Hey, so this is for Smash Brothers." Yeah! You're not playable. Oh! Okay. Yeah, so I was a little disappointed, but once again, doing a Smash Brothers web series in 2009 and now being in Smash Brothers in any regard is like a cool geek full circle. So of course I was a little disappointed by reading the scripts they put in there for like this conversation. How Prom is acting like, well, obviously you don't need me, I'm just a lowly swordsman. I already have plenty of those, I guess. Like, I don't know, his underlying kind of bitterness I thought was really funny. And of course the launch trailer where he just gets his ass beat by Captain Falcon and is all like on the ground crying into his shoulder. I guess I'll get my take another time. I thought it was really funny, and so I'm like, okay, we're playing up the comedy of this, I kind of like that aspect. But still keeping my fingers crossed for maybe DLC down the line. Because I think they already have the model in the game. Why wouldn't you allow it as like an alternate costume, maybe for Lucina or something? So, we'll see. We'll see. One day it'll be prom time. Time to go. Let's go over here in the front, sir. Right there. Okay, what's one of the more fun things I've done at a con that's actually fun? I was at a convention in St. Louis last year, St. Louis, Missouri, and they have near it's called the City Museum, I think it's called. And essentially, it used to be this giant 8-story shoe factory that was purchased by this crazed artist who then renovated it and turned it into a giant adult playground gym, a jungle gym place. Look it up. It's awesome. The whole place, like outside, it's all these welded metal airplane parts and giant fences, and it's just you climb everywhere, and it looks dangerous as hell. You're like, you as you drive by, you're like, oh, I'm gonna die. and you're inside, you're walking around, you're like, I'm gonna die. The inside of it is just this handmade cave network. That's all just the walls. You feel like you're going into this underground cave network. You climb through all these tunnels, and they have like bars you can go upside down on, and they have all these things hanging from the ceiling that makes it feel like some weird wonderland. And then there's like 5 or 6 giant slides that go up 6 stories. And you climb to the top of this slide down this spiral, and then there's a huge ball pit, and it was awesome. I was exhausted at the end of the day. All of us were like, yeah, and like 3 hours later, go out, but okay, obviously not anymore. That was fun. So that was pretty awesome. If you ever in St. Louis, I recommend you guys. I recommend it. I think it was called the City Museum, something like that. The St. Louis Museum, and you find pictures and they're like, that looks dangerous. That's probably it. Have the glasses. Oh yeah. Well, that was part of what made me so great was his cheesy one-liners. Like he was the Japanese interpretation of the American hero from the '90s. You know, he was that kind of like, hey. And so Leon was very cocksure in 4. When we got to 6, Leon was a little more world-weary, a little more like he's been through this so many times and it never changes, it always seems to get worse. And like, even though he's still like a good guy, trying to do the best he can, you can see he's a little more crushed by the fact that he hasn't been able to really make a difference, it seems. So it's interesting to go into there. They did a few fun one-liners with him in that one. Like there's one sequence in the subway system with Helena, where a subway runs by and it's full of zombies. It's like, man, that subway's just full of zombies. You know, it's all, I guess there's nobody at the helm. Zombie Express. And so stuff like that's kind of fun. They got some good lines. However, getting to do the animation, the CG movie that kind of bridged the two, that where I got to play more of the cocksure Resident Evil 4 Leon in the beginning, and then play his arc to the Resident Evil 6 Leon by the end, where once again, just everything he does just doesn't seem to work out. Really trying to save him and dying, and he's just sitting there pouring a glass of whiskey for himself in his hotel room at the very end of the movie, just like, I'm sick of this. So, but that movie had a lot more fun one-liners. Really cheesy stuff. There's even a scene where like he's fighting a giant tyrant, just like charging at him and his guns out of ammo, and he's just watching this like 20-foot tall humanoid running at him, and he just goes, pulls his knife out. Like that's gonna make a difference. I'm like, yeah, that's like that. What's that? Back and forth. Your right hand comes off. Let's go for Christian. Wait, back there. Are any of your dreams were actually in the character voice? Yes. I have very weird vivid dreams. I've had dreams that, I had one dream where I was Levi, all first person, you know, and a lot of the dream was just using the ODM gear going through forest, which was awesome. Being pulled this way and firing up this way. It's kind of like a more haphazard Spider-Man web swinging kind of feel. It was an awesome dream. I don't think it ended well. But up to that point, it was pretty awesome. We got a dream once where I don't know if I was a Leon, but I was in like a zombie apocalypse type situation. I don't think that would end well either. Come think of it, like a lot of these dreams, these characters didn't end very well, but like up until that point, they were pretty cool, I guess. I did have one weird dream years ago where I was a Nightcrawler when I was a little kid, and I was teleported everywhere. That was really cool. That was pretty awesome. Teleportation, that's the power I want. Let's see, let's go, Susan. Who's that? Best Fire Emblem girl? Matthew Mercer. Because I married her prom, which was weird, because I married myself. And I'm like, there's a term for this somewhere. It's like a new form of unintentional narcissism, I guess. It's like I proposed to me, and I was like, this got weird. Although it was weird when we were recording that line, Patrick Sykes was directing, made sure that I made eye contact with him the whole time recording the proposal, just to mess with me. He's like, no, Matt, I was up here. Go. I'm like, I need to like memorize it. Look at me, go. So the whole time doing the whole, the wind in my back and sort of my side. But sometimes I sit there going, it's a little creepy. It's a little creepy. Let's see. You started classes before. There's also really know that a lot of the creators seems awesome. There's all that kind of like an intense, aggressive character. Funny moments, there are many. The writing in those games were ridiculous and awesome. Many of the skits, like few RPGs, especially RPGs that have an intense story, take moments to acknowledge that the characters are going to be chatting to each other as they're traveling. And I love that they do all these skits, and many of them just go to very interesting places. The whole Zonga sketch in the first one was one of my favorites. It was one of my favorite lines in the whole game was Rowan. His response to that was like, "You must feel the passion. You must hold it to you through." And Jun's like, "I don't know if I can do that." "Then you will never know Basongas." Wonderful, wonderful line. Or Alvin's, commenting on Amelia's outfit. He was like, "Oh, I guess she really isn't a bondage." That was a fun one. There's some weird places that game. So that was pretty fun. Let's see, so, how do I feel when people who mention some cosplay to give us that voice? It's awesome. It's really good. They do an amazing job, and it's partially flattering they wanted to show me that, and partially like, "Gosh, it's so cool! I want your signature." It's amazing the craftsmanship that goes into these costumes, and some of the recreations I see people pull out are just incredible. Things that some artist in Japan was like, "Good luck, cosplayers," and they do it. It's like, "Yeah, that's right. This doesn't make sense, but I made it." It's almost like despite physics at certain points, and I'm like, "Well done, hats off." It's really cool. It's really cool. I love taking pictures of that and doing the character poses and stuff. And occasionally you see my friend hold their props, and like first one second be like, "Look, I'm but no, it's a blast. And I'm especially impressed by the quality of work that goes into these, sincerely. Let's go over this right there. There are months of villain. I don't know if you go with Wesker. Wesker's the classic. DC just makes that kind of delicious, and just never seems to back. Favorite monster. I mean, from a comedic standpoint, Nemesis, because for a whole game, at a certain point, like, "All right, buddy, I get it. That means like always the slowest walking pace ever. Jason Voorhees was faster. Genuinely scary, Lickers, man. On the ceiling. Oh, game over, that's cool. That's great. Yeah, I thought they brought him back for Damnation. I was really excited that they kind of had to punch him and swarming, and I was like, "Yeah, back to the original." Yeah, those guys really that's really different. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. So I guess the question was, during the scene where Levi's beating the living crap out of Aaron in the courtroom, I guess the fans were saying he was like a glint of a tear in his eye. That's an interesting idea. If anything, I think it may have just dust in the air. Levi, well, I think he does definitely have an emotional arc, I think, especially you see, I've said this a few times before, Levi, I don't think he's sociopathic. I think he's a very cool person, and that's basically forged by the experiences he's had having people around him constantly die. Not to mention the kind of unwarranted responsibility of being humanity's strongest. Everyone looks to him as being the solid rock. As long as Levi's good, we're good, and that's kind of the role he's supposed to play. And so if he ever shows any emotion, any sign that he's faltering, any sort of crack in that hard-ass exterior, then the rest of humanity is going to see that and question their ability to continue. And so I think he knows he has to keep all that very guarded and very close. And there's just a few moments like when he sees Petra and the rest of the squad in the forest, there's that one dark close-up on his face, you can see in his eyes, like there is some sincere pain that he's struggling to hold in on that. However, in the courtroom scene, I get the feeling he was relishing that more than he's willing to admit. He was a violent boy. And at that point, he has no love for Aaron. He is purely an instrument, he is a tool, he is a means to an end, and he will do what it takes to make sure that they get access to that and forge it into what they have plans for. And if it means beating the crap out of somebody who's chained up, pretty sure these guys would be like, I can do that. Yeah. If it was later in the series and they had formed like a really deep friendship, then yeah, I could definitely say the T word makes sense. But seeing as how they haven't had much interaction at that point, I don't think there was much regret in his disposition. Exactly, just a little glint of one of these chandelier lights in his maybe he was crying because he was like thinking of like a really, really sad Nick Drake album. Because he was just distracted while kicking him. He's like, oh, that's a good song. Anyway. Yeah, exactly. He's like, oh, that's a watch this movie after this. Let's go back over there. You sir, that t-shirt. Yes, I can.
Out of all the ones you've actually played, what's probably your favorite Resident Evil game?
My favorite Resident Evil game? I have a nostalgic love for the first one because the voiceover was so bad. So bad. Barry's always investigating. I hope this isn't Chris's blood. You were almost a Jill sandwich. There's so many great classics. And somebody I saw recently, they took the new HD release of which pronounced words of Resident Evil 1, and they put the old audio in. And so it's like nice high-res models they bent down. It's like, Chris, I'm dying. Oh, that's so good. So good. But as far as I get to the game, enjoying Clearly 4 is still my favorite. 4 Then you had the creepy, would you buy it? What are you selling? Stranger, stranger. No, actually, we got the great characters. You said favorite D&D character I ever played? Who were in role-playing game time? I had a character I played years ago. I haven't played a character in a while. It's like one of those, once a DM, always a DM circumstances. Every now and then I get to play a character. I really enjoyed playing a dwarf fighter in Kraven Grimthor. He had one eye missing. He lost it in effect with a numberhawk, but he carved a small sphere from back of his hind and replaced it. That way he has that sort of line. When he's real angry, he wants to intimidate someone in battle, squeeze real hard and pop out at his opponent just to mess with him. And castle in the face until he take a great axe to the nose. He was a lot of fun. I think dwarves are a great class. They're largely underappreciated. I love dwarves. They're just so ornery and hardy and fun. That was a fun character. It's probably my favorite that I've played. Like I said, I've played a lot of characters. A lot of NPCs I love. I gotta play a lot of them. Alright, let's go ahead and move, Yes, I have played Resistance. Resistance falls in the category of one of the games that destroys friendships. Right next to Munchkin and Battlestar. It's just like, oh. Oh man. Oh no, people will beat the crap out of each other. That'll end in like a street fight. You have to do that. Yeah, they like just one pull you at the table. Oh man, that'd be great. By the way, there's a group at MagFest every year that does a charity table flipping event that I love. It's so much fun. Oh, it's so cathartic. It's wonderful. If you ever see that happening at a con, I recommend you drop a little bit of cash for charity. They'll set up the table for you and you just flip. Oh, good. It's wonderful. Let's see, let's go. I use some of the blue shirt and the goatee. Seeing how well totally took a Falcon punch, I probably have to give it to Levi. I love me some fun, but like, and then his daughter had to come in and save his ass. Robin, like, yeah, no, Levi probably take it down. My opinion. Never to say that I hate picking between my children, but logistically, that would make sense. I think Kitsugu would snipe him from a tower a mile away. With red meat right there. The question was, when I was younger, what sort of voice acting inspired me to really get into the industry? When I was very young, I learned about Mel Blanc, who was the voice of like every one of the best character ever. It was amazing to me that one man could produce so many voices and be responsible for such a large chunk of my childhood. To the point where in fourth grade, I did a book report on his life, a biography. And it was just fascinating to learn about his journey and how kind of that industry began on that side. And, so it was very inspiring, but I never really considered the possibility of pursuing it as a career, as some distant possibilities. Like, oh, that'd be cool. As I got older and became more and more of a possibility, I began to research other people. And so it's inspirations include D. Bradley Baker, incredibly talented voice actor. If you're not familiar with his work, I recommend you to come up. Frank Welker, another very talented voice actor. Steve Bloom, it's amazing. Getting to work with him or friends with him recently has been weird. It's weird to be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to dinner with like, what is that? So yeah, those are definitely some that really, really inspire me. Kevin Richardson is amazing. Rob Paulson, who was the voice of my childhood. Him and Ken Clark. I got to work with them on the project with the Ninja Turtles. What? That's dumb. So yeah, like, there are many, but those are some of the names that really inspired me growing up, and they continue to inspire me to this day. Thank you. Question? What do you, sir? The one right there. Favorite hilarious moment from our own D&D adventures. Okay, just so you guys are aware, I've been running my most recent campaign. I've been running for over 2 years now. It has a bunch of other voice actors. We have 8 players, which is a big group. But it's I guess I know some of these guys. Laura Bailey, Travis Willingham, Sam Riegel, Liam O'Brien, Ashley Johnson, who's plays Allie in this as well as a lot of on cameras as well. Marisha Ray, Nelson Jackie, and Ryan Akaba. And so we've been playing for 2 years. A lot of them was their first game ever. And recently, we had the opportunity to start streaming it live on Geek and Twitch. Felicia Day contacted me, and we developed this as a continuation of our campaign, but now we do it for 3-hour bits every week on Thursdays. So you should check out Critical Role Thursdays, watch a bunch of us nerdy voice actors roll dice and be nerdy. So there are many great moments. Some very dramatic and intense that were really amazing. But as far as funny moments go, let's say Sam Riegel's known bard named Scanlon has definitely created some ridiculous situations. More recently, in more recent games we played, they managed to uncover, they're forging into the Underdark, which is like super underground, bad times. And they're starting to see this race of beings called mind flayers, which are essentially these weird octopi-faced creatures that devour brains and are psychic. They found an outcast of the mind flayer society that was kind of dressed in rags and kind of had an honorable staff and was hiding in the corner, basically feeding on whatever it could, while it had been ostracized from its people for being an arcanist. Had magical capabilities and as such was shunned by its people. So as part of the diplomatic aspect of trying to convince it not to attack them and possibly work together, Scanlon begins to attempt a persuasion check using his performance as a bonus and sings them a wondrous kind of Lionel Richie style healing song. And you can see it on the actual streams, all the old episodes are up on the archive. But he sings this like, hey now, little cold and I just come on down and heal with a baby. And he starts like singing this kind of jazzy, smooth groove, like this weird tentacle-mouthed creature with a staff. And everyone in the party starts like snapping along with it. And it turns into this whole like groovy throwdown in this cave system deep underground with like lava holes spilling off in the distance. And the mind flayer is just staring at him. And he makes his roll, he rolls tremendously high, and against its own will, he starts tapping his toe. And someone just put up a really cool piece of fan art on Twitter last night in that exact moment. And I was like, oh yes, this is awesome. So that was a pretty great moment. Grog was Charles Willingham's character, who was a live barbarian, giant, half-giant barbarian. And Scanlan said, have like a really good kinship. Whenever they hit a town, they both kind of go to the brothel together, like high five and pick different ladies in different rooms, and that's their whole thing. And so that pleases me in circumstances. There was one moment where they were in an underground druid barrow, which is kind of like an underground tomb or a druid circle. And this whole floor was traps all across it, and there was nothing way across. Some of the predators were using acrobatics to like trip across, ninja style. Some were finding other means to like hover across. And Laura Bailey's character, who's a ranger, has a bear named Trinket, which she adores and protects with her life. Trinket's a big brown bear. How are they gonna get it across? And Travis, his character, the barbarian, goes, oh no, I'll just take my axe knife, hit him in the back of the bum with the flat side, give him a boost. And then it's like, like, okay, go for it, roll. No, just kidding. Like, you have an intelligence of 6 and a wisdom of 9, you have really bad impulse control. Go ahead and roll a wisdom saving throw. He fails. So as you hit Trinket with the back of the butt with the flat of your axe, the bear runs across the floor, sets off this trap, this trap, this trap. He's like, whoop, whoop. All right, roll saving throws for him. Laura's like, whoop, whoop. Rolls, misses a couple saving throws. When it comes down to it, it takes enough damage to the traps to have like 3 hit points left. Trinket barely makes it across, like charred burn marks, smoke pouring off. Then it comes up to Laura, and it's like, she's like, no, Twinkie, no, I'm so sorry. And just glares at Travis. For those who've seen Travis, he's a tall, big man. In that moment, he was about that big. To this day, she hasn't let him forget that moment. That was pretty delightful. So go ahead, question way back to the turquoise wig. Is there everything to make a Magi video game? I hope so. That'd be cool because more paychecks are nice. But I think it's a great hero story that lends itself well to like an RPG or something that has some sort of story-based progression. That'd be awesome. They have a lot of fun characters with cool powers, and they have really shiny tricks, and they like cool abilities, and it lends itself to a game very well. I don't know if there'll be one. Heck yeah, I'd love to see one. I'm gonna play one. If I ever met Sinbad, we would party so hard. We would tear Sinbad down. It'd be amazing. Music, drinks, dancing, it'd be awesome. Just chilling on top, making like grapes, it'd be awesome. And then knowing Sinbad, we go to my like I'm like really drunk, really hungover, and like, what happened last night? And then get into some kooky endeavor, like he tends to. Hopefully not a specific endeavor that he got involved in mid-season. So, yeah, we can kind of change circumstances. That's what we're up here. It's right now. So how do I deliver emotional lines, like leave line to episode 9? As any actor, when you prepare a character, you find a point of connection with yourself and that character. So you need that point of honesty that you can grow and build off of. And for Levi, like I mentioned before, he keeps all his emotions very close to his chest. He's very guarded with that, and specifically his exterior. In moments like that, like a soldier that he cares for who's fought alongside his about to die, those are moments that he lets himself go a little bit, specifically if it's for their benefit. Or even if he may not necessarily be that emotional, he will show that to a soldier in hopes that those of his dying moments will leave an impact on them. They can feel like they're really towards them. So for me as an actor, it's about putting myself in that position and sensing what it would feel like to be in that same situation. And as training as an actor, this is another reason why I emphasize training as an actor for any sort of voiceover stuff. You learn to be able to touch on emotions very quickly. A lot of your emotional states, you kind of create a toolbox, and you can be like, okay, sadness. I've trained and got really closely in touch with that sensation. I don't need context. I can just plug it into that emotion, play it into a scene, and then just go with it. Or, someone's feeling extremely angry, I'm not an angry person at all by trade, but we train and do scenes and do character work and monologues that get you comfortable with that space where you know how to get there very quickly. And so for scenes like that are very emotional, that's where your acting training comes in, and you are able to access those emotions very quickly and very raw, and then kind of plug them into the dialogue in those scenes and let it play out, let it live. And it's kind of cathartic in a way. Like in Fate Zero, when Kiritsugu has this breakdown towards the end of the season, the series, that was just a giant, bottom of the soul, scream, yell, sobbing, pulling himself across the bow of the boat, like his whole self is just broken. Those moments are extremely difficult to come across, extremely difficult to perform, very cathartic and very rewarding for an actor to be able to go to that place and go very often. So I enjoyed it. It was fun. It's exhausting. When the session's over, you're like, okay, I'm just gonna go like get a chai and read a book about kittens for a while. Your emotion is spent. Let's go. It's fun. It's that kind of loose aspect. Rune Factory it's loosely a dating sim. Right. So like it's you have love like I have a party, I've all told them as a huge RPG nerd, like I have to love something up. I have to like go a week without leveling something and start having twitches. So I love that aspect of it. But it's always that interesting turn working on a game where you're like hero moments and story moments and conversation, and you reach that point in the script where you're like, my line is, I'm confessing my love. Okay. To all these different characters. And then now they're having a baby. Okay. And so like in those games you work through like an entire relationship. And it's very interesting. Because you have like the breakup, you have the courtship, you have the emotional height of it, the honeymoon phase, you have the child coming, you have the birth surprise. It's weird. It's like living like an entire relationship in a short period of time. And so that was definitely another interesting exercise of being an actor. Like me, not Colin. One day I'd like to be. But in the meantime, I kind of have to imagine what that would be like. So, acting! Let's go over here, use of the picture. Or, that's my room. There we go. Ladies Smash Brothers, I am a long time proponent for Geek. This is weird. I love taunts, I love Luigi Missile. I wouldn't say it's the most effective, but I just enjoy playing as kind of like half troll. I'm looking forward to YouTube. YouTube was my main back in the day. So I was just like, yeah, there we go. That's where my heart lies. Mario's fine, but there's no replacement for YouTube. I heard like the Ghostbuster theme song. I couldn't tell. But other than that, probably Samus. Samus control. Yeah. She's my girl, she's my man from space, yo. Dropping bombs from on high. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean anything. Make it up to you. So it's like to play a game that I've acted in. It's weird at first. Here's the downside to working in this industry. As a gamer, when you work on a game that you're really excited about, you're like, oh, that's awesome, I'm gonna be on the game. I'm also gonna be completely spoiled about the entire storyline before I play it. So a lot of times when I do that, I already know what's gonna happen. I know which characters die, I know which plot twists happen, I know the ending. So that's a little frustrating. But at the same time, it's kind of cool. And a lot of times I go back and listen to it just from a critical standpoint and be like, okay, what can I work on in future things? What elements of the game do I wish I had more context for? Because that does happen sometimes, especially for like a rushed import. They'll not be able to give you all the context. They have to like, we have to get this done in this period of time. Go. You're like, oh, okay. You just kind of jump into it. So a lot of time, I'll just play through and try not to take myself out of it too much, and then be a little bit more critical ear for it. So yeah, it's a little easier these days. When I first started doing it, it was weird. Oh my god, it's me. It's weird. Now it's like, okay. It's pretty great. So, way back with red Porsche, or words Sunday, but.
What's your favorite part of playing Mr. Mississippi at one hill?
I really love it. What's your favorite part of playing this Wiki Sugi and Kill la Kill?
My favorite part about playing Wigisi and Kill la Kill was the fact that I got to record what happens. No, he just has a whole spectrum. He's a character that was all over the map. Everyone in that show was all over the map as far as like delivery and personality and where they go. And so for me, it was really cool to be able to flex that a bit. I come off as sitting there playing a lot of characters which are very stoic. When I started recording on that, a lot of characters were very cinematic, very low key. So it was nice to take care of things to be very interesting, over the top, and move his speech. Like it was really fun to be crazy. And then I'll start doing, this kind of interesting, loosely creepy homeroom teaching, which was also a lot of fun. So I enjoyed that one thoroughly. But yeah, it was fun. I had a great time with him, and that show just gets more and more ridiculous. I didn't watch it before recording on it, so every single we go to record, I'd be like, what is going on? Okay, let's do this. Oh man, that's a fun show. If you guys haven't watched Kill la Kill, highly recommend it. At first glance, you're like, oh, this is just like a movie show. And there is that, don't get me wrong. But it has a lot of great underlying subtext and a lot of mythological references and kind of a commentary on fascism and a lot of different social environments and character archetypes and tropes. It's great. It's a great show. Let's go the fall flying everything like this. How has gaming affected my life positively or negatively? I would say it only really has affected me positively. Gaming for me was, growing up, gaming for me was my element of learning how to be a better person, if that makes any sense. A lot of these hero characters that I aspire to be like, all these characters that went through these adventures and persevere, and even simple things like, Mario. And yeah, sure, like, he didn't really consider much of a character arc for him in the beginning. He was a Mario. But just going through those journeys to do the good was great. As games got more complex and more storytelling came through, you began to see the hero journey never spelled out. And to me, there were a lot of really great elements of these characters' personalities that inspired me to be a better person. Plus, the gaming community was great. It was a great place to connect with other people. And it's different from saying, like, you watch this movie? Yeah, I love that movie. You both sat in the theater and watched that movie for an hour and a half. Then going to somebody and be like, okay, so you played through Final Fantasy VII? Like, yeah. But you both were like, you both were there for 100 hours or more. You said, like, I have a weapon? That kind of thing. Like, Harris, you both like have been through a war together. There's a point of connection that you both been through, like a good long-term story-based game like that, a connection that you can't really find in other media. And so I made a lot of really great long-term friends just through gaming. And that goes for tabletop gaming as well. Role-playing games were a great social experience, being able to meet other people and play in kind of communal storytelling aspect. It's a lot of fun. So I think gaming's been tremendous for us in my life. Plus, going into voice acting, I know the genres really well. So when I walk into like a fantasy RPG, the director's like, okay, so your character, they're an elfin rogue. What that means is an elf is like I know what an elf is. Okay, a rogue is like, I know it's just stealthy knives, I know. Okay, in this world, there are these things that they're called, I thought it was just a different sense. So they're like, oh, they summon creatures. Okay, they're summon beasts. I got it. Like it's really easy for me to understand the genre and know what kind of works in that realm. So it means we can jump into sessions better. So it has actually helped professionally too, which I think is nice. So I think that's really better. My favorite anime and why? It's good. Growing up, I really, back in the day, I loved the crap out of Ninja Scroll. Some of the early manga stuff, which partially was because it was like, oh, there's adult things in it. But also, like, it was just great action. It was really well animated and really intense characters. It was just a cool story. Then I got really deep into Evangelion series. Another very dark series in many ways, especially in Evangelion. A lot of people were like iffy on that. It just got really twisted at the end. Nowadays, I have to go with like, it's a hard choice. And I feel kind of biased because I'm in both. But like, they're both really good shows. Fate and Fate Zero. Fate Zero is amazing, just beautifully animated, great music. Have you seen it? Good. No, I haven't. I hear it's pretty good. All right, cool. I'll go ahead and I'll check that out. We start getting some rapid questions here, so I can start getting some of these for you guys. We'll start scanning across. In the back of the meeting. You, yeah. Yeah, I guess you guys are both meetings, sorry. Favorite character to act? I kind of like chaotic good. I like morality, but I also feel sometimes, especially in a lot of stories, law can be a little relative. And sometimes the law can prevent you from doing what's best. So I like the chaotic good personality. It definitely fits me. I mean, as an actor, evil is fun to play as a character. In an actual game, I don't find evil very fun to play. I have a hard time. I tried playing for Mass Effect as a renegade, and I couldn't bring myself to do it. I always ended up going right back to Paragon. I was like, I'm not capable. I feel too bad. So definitely play chaotic good. A lot of people play chaotic neutral, so you can just do whatever. Like, I can do anything. And I think it's kind of a cop out a little bit. But if you play it well, it's fun. Yeah, chaotic good definitely is my speed. Right. You right there. Alright, so between Leon and James, which I like better. James is a cool hat. So that's pretty rad. Cool, like, kind of Dickensian top hat. But I like Leon's personality. I like that he's this kind of slightly into himself, slightly snooty, and sometimes a little too aggressive character. I don't know, he's a fun one. He's got that kind of charismatic sleaze a little bit to him. But the way you like him inside of himself, that was a lot of fun. I haven't had the opportunity to play any of these, unfortunately. I have a stack of games that are built in, but I just haven't had the ability to get to yet. And this month, like, Type Zero just came out, Bloodborne just came out, Those Eternity just came out, Witcher 3's coming out soon. I'm like, I'm done. I'm dead. I'm just never gonna catch up. So I'm just gonna hibernate. I'm gonna take like 6 months and I disappear in the Himalayas with like, maybe with like a generator and just play all those games. That's all I gotta do. But yeah, we can definitely see how much more speed than I can. Some folks haven't asked questions yet. With the blue sparkly shirt back there. Favorite scene is Sinbad from Magi. His intro was pretty fun. It's just like cross thief, which is pretty hilarious. I really liked, honestly, and I don't want to say any spoilers, there's a few moments at the end of season 2 that I really enjoy, where his character, you get to see a little more depth to his character, and he kind of surprises you. And I really enjoy kind of playing into that aspect of Sinbad. It's really cool. It's really cool. Earlier in, I liked playing. No, there is one scene at the beginning of season 2 when he walks in on Aladdin, and he's like, I can only describe like triumphing this one female character accident. Like it looks like it. I remember watching the scene, I'm like, what is he doing? Like he's like trying to tickle her, and he's like when you're tickling her, and she's kind of laughing, giggling, with animated, which is really suggestive. And so that walks in, and it's this one girl I guess he was also kind of like into. He's asked what thing, and he just whispers to himself, well, he really is a true bad guy. Like he's like really impressed. He's like, you go with that. And he's like super like, you get him. I thought that was a pretty funny scene. I'm starting to cruise this way a little bit. You sir, you had your hand up. It's rare, but it does happen. A lot of it sometimes it's just like the script isn't working and they'll just come up with something kind of perturbous when they have there. The thing has the same idea behind it, but it fits the little class better and doesn't go in. I think there's some background stuff in Kill la Kill. Like my character and Smooth were talking that we just kind of improvised back and forth. you know, I think Sumu was in the line was like, oh man, I miss my pants. I was like, they're overrated. You know, we have combos like that in the background. Usually, we can't improvise too much because when we do, we usually tend to go a little perverted, or at least the lines of the actual main company would be like, oh, no, we cannot say that. Okay. But we try and improvise where we can. Those usually end up on book reels. So look for those when they are available. The book books tend to be pretty silly. Let's see. Use of the glasses? You got it? So if I could cosplay as the character that I play, would I cosplay? I would, Alvin Tales of Exilius too. He's got a slick suit, long scarf, got the goatee going on, he's got some cool weapons and stuff. I'd probably go with Alvin. I think he's got a cool outfit, he's a fun one. Other than that, actually I kind of like being Abe from Evolve. He's that nice, like, hey, my mustache going on. Got a big old hat, he can tip towards you, like, don't worry. I guess you're good. So he'd be a fun one. Yeah, definitely. You sir with the hat back.
What was your favorite moment when you were recording for Fire Emblem?
Favorite moment recording for Fire Emblem Awakening? Well, the awkward moment with Patrick Sykes doing the confession speech is definitely fun. I actually kind of enjoyed, I don't know why, but something really good and honest about the sequence. And it's not a spoiler, it happens to be in a game, the scene where you're in the first person view of Robin and you're fighting that one sorcerer guy, and Swan runs over to you and he's like, hey, are you okay? And it's like, thanks to you, we carried the day, and then you get mind control to killing Rom. That whole death sequence there, like, that was a really cool scene. It was really fun to do that. I very much Susan. Trying to give you that confidence right before he passes. For some reason that scene was impactful to me. Or some of you were there for those panels, the fake ending, where the lip flap for the final scene of the game will come into your eyes, and I matched directly to have to say, I can see your butthole. And it matched his lip perfectly in the final sequence. So that was pretty great too. Alright, so we're going to this side a little bit. You, sir, video game about here for a while. Second favorite video game RPG? Tabletop. All right. There's a game called Deadlands. That's a great game. It's called The Weird West. Essentially, it's kind of like imagine post-Civil War, Old West cowboys, but imagine after the terrible event of the Trail of Tears, all the various Native American shamans decided to get together and use their shamanistic power to tear open a portal to the underworld. And basically release like demons and evil souls into the Old West. Now it's the Old West, and people like rising from the grave, and people starting to get weird X powers, and you play the game as part of the fate system with playing cards is how you use your abilities, and actually playing poker as part of your combat. And the better your hand is, the more damage you deal, and you throw in chips to help things. It's a really cool system, it's a cool world, so I love Deadlands. And Vando and Paraguay is a lot of fun too. Just does some legit stuff. I have to go with Trafalgar over here. You're dressed as Trafalgar. You Trafalgar Law.
Jade, you're Trafalgar
Yeah.
Law.
Trafalgar Law is the character's name. So you got it. Yes, that is great. Actually, I've done a few times with the team with our guys, and we watched it together. It's pretty hilarious. I love it. That's a good show. All the original thing is amazing. I'm hoping to work with them with something in the future, even just like a small bit, because they're awesome. But the stuff they do is pretty legit. So I'm hoping, hopefully in the future we'll be able to talk about something that we do together. So we talked about it, but we haven't actually done anything. Fingers crossed. Let's go, you in the back. We go Ninja God, yes.
Do you have any recommendations for DMD?
The Evil campaign. My recommendation for doing the Evil campaign is make sure the players, when they're constructing their characters, give them a very clear reason why they shouldn't kill each other. And down the road they can, but trying to find a storyline where they really get the sense that they have to work together or they will all fail. And then each person has some very important element to the circumstance that they have to bring. So they can plot each other's demise as long as they want, but they all, in spite of themselves, understand that they have to work together. Otherwise, the evil campaign will spiral out of control and having one giant wall where one person stands left and the campaign's over. And that's happened many times. So just keep that in mind. Other than that, have fun with it. Let them be sadistic little bastards, but be honest with the repercussions of their choices. It's very funny to be like, I can do whatever. But if you do whatever, people are going to come after you. You're going to have parties of other good adventurers coming to hunt you down, and they may not be as weak as you hope. So really play out that aspect of you can be evil, but there are always consequences to the decisions you make, and let that land of it. And it's kind of fun to watch a group of evil characters go from like, haha, we can do anything to, we gotta run. We gotta run. So just keep that in mind. I used to have classes in the blue shirt.
This one?
Got one.
Okay. Yeah, this involves Trafalgar Law, actually.
Mm-hmm.
If you were offered the part, would you play him?
Oh yeah, I would.
Awesome.
The second. He's a great character.
I think you have a really good voice for him.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
No problem.
Yeah, he's a great character. I got to play one character in One Piece movie, Vince, who was kind of crazy, crazy, plant dude. But I'd love to be able to be a little more involved in the One Piece universe. So if so, heck yeah, that'd be awesome.
Cool.
So keep your fingers crossed. And way back, blonde hair at the first guy. Yeah.
Is it awkward for you to watch your animes that you voiced in and hear your voice?
Yeah, it may have been awkward years ago. You get to a point where you've done this for a while where it doesn't really affect you anymore. The only thing that affects you is I know a lot of what's going to happen when I watch it. But at the same time, you only record your scenes and your moments, so also it's kind of fun to go back and watch it and see all the puzzle pieces put together. Like, oh, I had no idea that was happening at the same time as other people. That's really cool, So it's still a point of discovery for me to rewatch the series afterwards. So I wouldn't say it's awkward per se. I think it's kind of a fun putting the pieces together type experience. So definitely. With the black coat and black hair there, least favorite video game genre? Military first-person shooter. Only because I've voiced so many of them and they've torn my throat apart from all the screaming. I like some first-person shooters. I really enjoy Portal, first-person puzzle game. I really enjoy Team Fortress. I enjoy first-person shooters that have like personality and a cool world. But if you're just like, I'm a military dude with a gun shooting other military dudes with a gun, it's just not something I can do. I respect and understand it. I worked for Infinity Ward for 2.5 years on the production side. Like I was a QA manager and assistant producer on Call of Duty 2 of the Personal Warfare, so I'm very familiar with military first-person shooters. That might be part of the reason why I'm not a fan of it, because I've worked on it for so long. But yeah, it's just not my thing. That and being on Xbox Live and getting shot repeatedly by a 12-year-old who's like, you suck, and telling me racial slurs, I'm not cool with that, so yeah, that's my least favorite. Or I guess also like the really over-the-top. I've had friends send me a couple of those RPG dating sim PC games, the Flash ones, that got really gross really fast. I'm like, oh, I'm good. Technicals, I don't mind. You sir. Worst video game job I've ever heard. Oh, there's so many. There's a great YouTube like worst video game voice acting, top 50 worst video game voice acting. There's so many on that list that I recall. Star Ocean 2 was pretty bad. Great game, but oh ye gods of forgotten times. Like no, sorry, no. First Resident Evil, of course, classic, terrible. Like, but you love how terrible it is. You can help it and endearing. And the same way you love the movie The Room. It's so bad, it's magnificent. And it's so honest and trying so hard, and yet fails so completely. In fact, we're 5 minutes over. I'm sorry. I gotta get home to my airport, guys. Oh, I'm sorry. That's gonna be a quick question. I have to run. But thank you very much. You guys also for coming. Thank you all for having me. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Get some rest. I know I am. Yeah.